Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at Noon.
Right now at noon, if you're traveling for the holidays, you are definitely not alone. What to expect at airports and on the road. The Supreme Court has just weighed in on the Trump administration's effort to bring the National Guard to Chicago. We'll give you the results of that. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here. I'm Natalie Bumpke. Let's give you a live look outside right now. And boy, it's beautiful, Caitlin. It's kind of unexpected for me to see that.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. We've got clouds out there, but temperature-wise, we're mild above normal. I hope you're enjoying your Christmas Eve, snuggled up at home, maybe eating some good food. We are going to have the chance for rain this afternoon, this evening, tonight, and then tomorrow for Christmas Day, it will be cloudy with a foggy start. So let's talk about first the sky cover that I was just mentioning. We do have the clouds over Chicagoland, but so far so good as far as the radar goes. It has been dry over the next few hours. That's when that potential will be here around 3 to 4 for a little bit of rain to move in. Temperatures, though, are ranging in the upper 30s to low 40s. Right now, it's 41 degrees at the lakefront, 45 in Gary, 42 at O'Hare, as well as Aurora, upper 30s for western areas like DeKalb at 39, 44 in Kankakee. So we are feeling good. Not quite as warm as our 54-degree day yesterday, but still not so bad. 3 p.m., 44 degrees by 5:43, so highs in the low to mid 40s for most. 3-day forecast, well, we do have that potential for a little bit of light rain as we move on into this evening tonight. And then tomorrow to start off the day, it will be foggy. The clouds, they're sticking around, but most of the day will be dry for Christmas. 42 as our high, and then that potential for rain is back Thursday night into Friday morning. 46 as our high. Temperatures, they're going to stay mild even into Saturday before the bottom drops out. And we start off next week with highs in the 20s on Monday and Tuesday. In the meantime, today it is going to be a mild day, but watch out for that scattered light rain later on. I'll show you the timing on our Futurecast ahead.
Thank you, Caitlin. Faith leaders are continuing to show support for those detained at the Broadview ICE processing facility. This morning, the Coalition for Spiritual and Public Leadership, along with local leaders, say they were denied access to enter the facility to offer prayer. The group says they previously delivered multiple letters requesting access. They have not received a response from the Department of Homeland Security. Faith leaders say everyone deserves prayer, especially on Christmas Eve. The Supreme Court rejects President Trump's effort to put National Guard troops on the streets of Chicago. Roseanne Tellez has more on this setback for the administration.
And it was a rare setback. President Trump has won repeatedly in other emergency appeals. But political leaders in Chicago and across the state are calling this a victory. Right now, some 300 National Guard troops stationed in northern Illinois are under the control of President Trump. He wanted to deploy them to assist federal officers in immigration enforcement here. But the High Court rejected the request, saying the government has failed to identify a source of authority that would allow the military to execute the laws in Illinois. Some Chicagoans we talked to tell us they didn't want the Guard here in the first place.
My beef was that they weren't needed at all. We have some problems of crime, but they don't help. They're not trained to do it. They're not useful. It was just a political ploy for him to try to beat Chicago, who he doesn't like, into submission.
Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth released a joint statement saying it's long past time for the Trump administration to back off Chicago. The majority of Americans believe they've gone too far, and even the Supreme Court's conservative supermajority refused to greenlight this blatantly unlawful overreach. Conservative Justices Samuel Alito, Neil Gorsuch, and Clarence Thomas all dissented in this opinion, which could impact the deployment of National Guard troops in cities across the country. In downtown Chicago, Roseanne Tellez, Fox Chicago.
This comes as a new investigation from Block Club Chicago reveals ICE arrests in Illinois have outpaced almost every other state in the country. Immigration and Customs Enforcement data shows agents arrested nearly 210,000 people nationwide, including more than 3,300 in Illinois. Agents arrested people as young as 4 and as old as 75. 60% of the arrests did not involve a criminal charge or conviction. Illinois and 18 other states are suing to block the Trump administration from stripping funds for some gender-affirming care. The plan would cut off Medicaid and Medicare payments to any hospital that provides minors with gender-related treatments. U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has called those treatments malpractice. But the states argue regulating medical practice belongs to the states, not the federal government. Illinois State Police are still investigating a shooting on the Kennedy Expressway. Sky Fox was over I-90 near Division Street this morning. So early this morning, it was still dark out. All northbound lanes were shut down as state police canvassed the scene. No injuries were reported. We'll keep you updated.
We don't get it! Shut it down! If we don't get it! Shut it down! If we don't get it! Shut it down!
This morning, union Starbucks baristas and Chicago teachers took to the picket line outside the Starbucks Reserve Roastery on North Michigan Avenue, protesting what they call union busting and delays in a fair contract. This is the latest action from an open-ended strike that began last month and has gained support from unions, elected officials, and community groups across the country. Well, the weather here is not tying up travel. We're checking some flight cancellations this hour. There are 5 at O'Hare, just 1 at Midway. The Federal Aviation Administration is expecting more than 35,000 flights today. Asher Red is at Nashville International Airport with more. And Asher, did they have, I have to ask you, totally off topic, do they have live music there like they do in Austin?
Sorry, what was that question? I had the announcement going behind me.
It's ridiculous, but I was just asking, do they have any live music there? I feel like oftentimes if you head to Austin or Nashville, live music, it kind of makes the experience a little better.
Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean, I know the D&C terminal is like the back of my hand here, and I can tell you every restaurant that has live music, I think Darius Rucker was here last night, just kind of stopped by one of the restaurants, and I'll tell you, a lot of the folks who might be in for some good music behind the gates also might be cutting it close trying to get to their holiday travel destinations, especially if they're trying to get there before Christmas Day. AAA says that 109 million people will drive, 8 million people will fly, and nearly 5 million will either take a cruise or hop on a train. Now, some folks in the Northeast are forecasted to have a white Christmas, but travel experts are keeping an eye on airports in states like New York and Massachusetts for potential delays. Now, meanwhile, heavy rain out west could delay travelers along the West Coast, but some travelers here say they're just trying to stay optimistic.
And it wasn't bad last year. Hopefully it's not bad this year. If it's anything like last year, hopefully it's the same. It was easy last year, so it wasn't that bad.
But there's a bright side to this holiday season. Folks driving to their destination might notice cheaper gas prices. AAA says the national average is around $2.85 a gallon, which is about 20 cents cheaper than this time last year. Now, experts say the timing of Christmas and New Year's this year is great for travel.
The actual nice thing about this holiday season is the way that Christmas and New Year's fall. We're actually spreading out travelers across a little over 2 weeks. So we've actually seen some of those supposedly busiest days earlier this week, the 19th, 20th, and 21st, didn't even crack the top 50 of busiest days of 2025.
And the TSA says Sunday could be the busiest day at the airport with 3 million passengers trying to get home. And as for driving, if you're trying to beat the traffic, experts say you probably want to get out the door by 9 a.m. Natalie?
All right, thanks so much, Asher Red, live in Nashville for us. Thank you, Asher. Heads up, procrastinators. You've got one last chance to squeeze in some shopping today. Take a look here. The Chicago Premium Outlets and Chicago Ridge Mall all open until 5 p.m. If that's not enough time, the Fashion Outlets and the Water Tower Place both close at 6 p.m. This evening, Cardinal Blaise Cupich will lead the annual Midnight Mass at Holy Name Cathedral. The church will start letting people who pre-registered in at 11 p.m. Carols begin at 11:30. If you can't make it tonight, the church will stream the service over its YouTube channel. More news here on Fox 32 News at noon. A deadly gas explosion at a nursing home. We'll have the latest on the investigation. Sean Diddy Combs hoping to spend the holidays at home. His latest attempt at an appeal.
Christmas Around the World and Holidays of Light. It's an event that you see through January 5th. It started with World War II, celebrating the Allied forces, and now is a celebration of all cultures around the world. We'll show you around coming up.
Tired of the runaround when selling your house?
At least 2 people are dead and 20 hurt after an explosion at a nursing home in Pennsylvania. CB Cotton has the latest.
A tragic day in Bristol Township after an explosion at the Bristol Health and Rehab Center, about 20 miles northeast of Philadelphia. Police believe a gas leak in the basement may have caused the blast, which collapsed the first floor, trapping residents inside. Governor Josh Shapiro says first responders worked for hours to rescue survivors.
I want to say that in the immediate moments after the explosion, you saw what real heroism is all about. They were quite literally climbing up ladders, handing individuals in this nursing home to police who were at times carrying 2 people on their back to safety.
Firefighters and medics from across the region rushed in, carrying patients down stairwells, breaking through debris, and pulling people to safety.
We were sitting in the living room and we heard a loud explosion. We actually thought somebody drove their car through our house.
Even as the structure remained unstable, a second explosion made rescues more chaotic.
There was one police officer who literally threw 2 people over his shoulders and ran with people to help.
Utility crews were already at the center investigating the source of a reported gas odor when the explosion happened. Officials say a recent safety inspection found the nursing home was not up to code. The nursing home had come under new ownership just a few weeks ago.
The Department of Health at the state level conducted a visit here on December 10th, and there was a plan put in place in order for these new facility owners to meet to upgrade the standards at this facility.
Bristol Township's fire chief said he believed all the nursing home's residents have been accounted for. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox 32 Chicago.
The remains of director-actor Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle have been cremated. The couple was found stabbed to death in their Brentwood home December 14th. The death certificates for Rob Reiner and his wife reveal that they both died within minutes of receiving several multiple sharp force injuries with a knife. Authorities have charged their son Nick with their murder. In New York, Sean Diddy Combs is once again fighting for his freedom. The hip-hop mogul filed a notice last night with an appeals court calling for his immediate release. He also wants a reversal of his conviction on prostitution-related charges or a reduced sentence. No response yet from the court. The Trump administration says it wants to overhaul how some foreign worker entry visas are given out and replace it with something else. The Department of Homeland Security says it will scrap the lottery system for H-1B work visas and replace it with a system that prioritizes skilled, higher-paid foreign workers. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Department says the current system has often been abused by businesses wanting foreign workers for lower pay. As Christians prepare to celebrate midnight mass in Bethlehem, the White House is telling Israel to back off new threats of military occupation in Gaza. Trey Yingst has more from Tel Aviv.
Merry Christmas from the Holy Land.
Christians throughout the Middle East are celebrating the holidays, but new comments from Israel's defense minister are raising fears of renewed fighting in the Holy Land. Israel Katz claimed on Tuesday that Israel will never fully withdraw from Gaza and plans to station military units there, a major breach of President Trump's 20-point peace plan.
We are deep in Gaza and we will never leave Gaza. We are there to defend, to prevent what happened.
The White House responded quickly, saying the U.S. remains, quote, fully committed to the plan, and called for Israel to stop provoking the Palestinians. But on Christmas Eve, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused Hamas of reneging on the deal by failing to disarm, a claim backed by some American lawmakers.
Hamas is not disarming, they're rearming. 90 days after the ceasefire, they're consolidating power in Gaza, they're not giving it up.
But even as tensions climb, the small Christian community in Gaza is gearing up for its first peaceful Christmas in 2 years. And the focus is on children.
They have suffered a lot, so we're trying a different touch this holiday season so that they can feel some amount of joy.
It's also the first time in 2 years there will be full celebrations on Christmas Eve in Bethlehem.
This year we want a Christmas full of light, because this is what we need. After 2 years of darkness, we need light.
Netanyahu is scheduled to meet with President Trump at the White House next week. In Tel Aviv, Trey Yingst, Fox, Chicago.
An atmospheric river is going to pummel Southern California this week. The storm is projected to be an immediate threat to homes, roads, and overall safety. Mandatory evacuation orders as well as warnings have been posted across Los Angeles, Orange, and Ventura counties. The burn scars in the Palisades and Altadena regions are of particular concern. Deputies went door to door in Altadena, warning residents of the coming danger.
It's hard to tell people, hey, you got to go, right? And it's also hard to tell people, hey, if you don't go, you're putting yourself in a really tough spot.
When they start talking atmospheric rivers, it kind of freaks me out.
In Pacific Palisades, where January's fire took out thousands of homes and other structures, people say they are taking steps to prepare. The Pacific Coast Highway, though, is expected to remain open, though crews will monitor for possible mudslides. Let's give you a live look outside in our area here, and you see the city skyline. It's gray out there, but the temperature's not too bad, Caitlin.
That's right, fairly mild today, but we do have the clouds in place, as Natalie mentioned. Still not stopping folks from getting out and about. I don't blame you if you have the day off. Take a look at the bean this early afternoon from the Shedd Aquarium camera. You can see people are enjoying temperatures in the 40s. So here we go. I guess I'll show you the bean as we walk over here. So it is getting busier and busier. Temperatures today, they're not going to be quite as comfortable as they were yesterday. I know, for example, I went for a walk yesterday afternoon and a spring jacket was perfect. It was so lovely. We hit 54 degrees. Today, we're taking a dip by about 10. But again, it is going to be a cloudy day. Chance for rain returning later on this afternoon. So you might see a little bit of sunshine shining off the bean. And I can even see on some people it's glowing out there. It's thin cloud cover, but the temperatures, they're in the upper 30s and low 40s, which again, that's already more than where we should be for this time of year as our high. Normal highs in the 30s. Right now, though, it's 41 degrees at the lakefront, 42 at O'Hare and Aurora, 39 in DeKalb. Here's your futurecast. So when will this rain arrive? Well, this is 3:45, and we're starting to see some speckles of green on our maps. Scattered light rain is expected throughout the evening, and then tonight, drier weather will return. Unfortunately, though, for Santa. It is going to be a little bit foggy out there tonight and early tomorrow. Temperatures, though, are going to be comfortable for Christmas Day. Temperatures are going to be in the low 40s for most of us as our high for Christmas. We're going to be fighting with those clouds, too. And then again, Thursday night into early Friday, we have the chance for some scattered light rain showers. Temperatures on Friday staying mild, low 40s to mid 40s are expected to return. And even on Saturday, it'll feel good. But then we take a dip as we head into early next week. So here's our weather headlines. Mild temperatures sticking around next week. That's when the cold air settles in. Monday and Tuesday highs in the 20s. We have that chance for some light rain this afternoon, this evening into tonight. A mainly dry Christmas day for travel tomorrow. Yes, it's going to be cloudy, but I think you'll be able to get around without having to deal with the rain until tomorrow night and into early Friday when our next chance for rain is back. And then we have that dip, as mentioned, as we start off next week. Even on Sunday, we're going to see those temperatures drop. I'll show you your full 70 forecast ahead. Natalie.
Thank you, Caitlin. A holiday tradition that brings the world to Chicago. The Griffin Museum of Science and Industry's Christmas Around the World features dozens of trees celebrating different cultures and holiday traditions. Gabriela Primus takes us inside.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Everywhere you look is filled with holiday spirit in the rotunda at MSI. Literally every single inch has a beautiful Christmas tree, not to mention the giant one that you see right when you come up the escalator. I'm with Matt. Matt, you're with MSI. Let's talk about this event. What makes it so special and so unique? Because there's an interesting story of how this all started.
This is, yes, Christmas Around the World and Holidays of Light started here at Griffin MSI in 1942 during World War II. Our then Lennox Lure wanted to create a fun little way where people could, celebrate patriotism, but also learn about the different countries that were fighting with the United States and the Allied forces. So basically, we had one tree. It was much smaller than this tree. It wasn't 40 feet, and it was redecorated every night for 12 straight days, so it represented those 12 countries.
Brought people from all over Chicago for those 12 days, and it's still doing that today. But other cultures are represented now, which is amazing. 55 trees this year.
55 trees total, different countries and cultures throughout the world in every continent are here on display here at Griffin MSI.
Okay, I want to talk about the American tree right behind us.
Oh, yes,
and then it's, we have Ireland right next to it, also Italy, I mean, you name it. Yeah. But what makes this unique? And is there criteria for some of the decorators?
Well, every year we ask the groups to, as much as they can, to do something different or new. Some of them will change their tree every year, like France does something different every year. But there are some groups that are really committed, like the United States, who they've actually fabricated these woodworked ornaments for each individual state. You see Wyoming there, Minnesota, every state, all 50 states, everyone has this really delicate piece, and then they get super creative with like the use of palms to illustrate fireworks, right? Think about the 4th of July. Yeah, boom, popping up. As well as, they don't have the ice crystals this year, but various different ornaments throughout here that represent the U.S. The big thing when you go up to the top, though, is that beautiful bald eagle tree topper. A lot of the groups, almost all of them, are really stepping up now with interesting, fun, big, unique toppers. So the United States one is always one of my favorite, also made of wood, just gorgeous, right?
If you want to come, do they need a ticket ahead of time? Can they just come to the museum and show up?
Christmas Around the World is part of the museum admission for Griffin MSI, but you definitely, I would strongly recommend this holiday season to pre-order your tickets if you can. No line, no wait. Come have fun with us. Have a festive holiday time through now. We're open through January 5th. Yeah, January 5th. Yep.
Okay, guys, we'll have more information on our website, fox32chicago.com. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's all around the rotunda. You're going to see these beautiful trees, good photo ops, good history lessons, so much more. We hope to see you here. It's better, even if you come here in person, away from the camera lens. All right, I'll throw it back to you for now.
Gabby. Before you start preparing that holiday spread, we have a consumer alert coming up. Details on a holiday sausage recall. Plus, managing holiday stress and anxiety. We're going to hear from a health professional on tips that could help you survive the season. In today's Health Watch, new data shows a quarter of Americans are struggling with hospital expenses. A study from the JAMA International Medicine Journal found more than 1 in 4 Americans say big medical bills are dragging down their money and their health. Roughly 27% of U.S. residents between 2018 and 2022 reportedly faced high medical expenses or had skipped needed health care because they couldn't afford it. And a consumer alert, the FDA is recalling more than 1,900 pounds of Olympia Provisions ready-to-eat holiday kielbasa over possible metal contamination. The kielbasa was produced on October 14th. Packages have a best if used by date of February 19, 2026. They were sold online and in stores in some states. People who bought the product, of course, are urged to throw it away or return it to the place of purchase. And we all talk about the joy of the holiday season, but for many people, it's tough moments that can quickly dampen the spirit. Experts say navigating those challenges can be difficult, and holiday hiccups can lead to increased stress and anxiety. They recommend setting realistic expectations and accepting both the highs and the lows of the season.
By integrating it into your plans and even letting some of those minor annoyances be a part of your holiday tradition.
Another tip here, try to stay present with family and off your phone. That's so hard sometimes. Holiday season can also be the most toxic for pets. Poison control centers say during the holiday months, they typically get a surge in calls from pet owners. Festive trees, just one of the many hidden hazards for pets around the holiday season. Poinsettias, if ingested, can cause gastrointestinal issues, and mistletoe can cause heart issues or high blood pressure. But that's not all. Sweet treats can also be enticing to pets, but deadly.
Dogs, they have those amazing noses, and they will get into these things, which could be chocolate-based and be very toxic for them.
Besides being mindful of holiday hazards, animal welfare groups say keeping up regular walks and feeding times can significantly help reduce any pet anxiety. This year, the holidays are expected to drive an unprecedented number of consumer scams due to the growing use of AI. I'll tell you what you need to know to avoid being taken by a criminal.
Happy holidays.
Welcome back. Here's a look at some of the top stories we're following for you today at noon. The massive Powerball jackpot is still up for grabs. The now $1.7 billion jackpot is the 4th largest jackpot on record. Keep in mind, the next drawing is tonight, so you could wake up to that win on Christmas morning. But you got to get your ticket by 8:59 p.m. to participate. Holiday travel ramping up across the country. AAA says 109 million people are hitting the road. Drivers might notice cheaper gas prices. AAA says the national average is around $2.85, which is about 20 cents cheaper than last year. And luckily, here in the Midwest area, you're going to have great travel conditions. Meteorologist Caitlin Cody joins us with another look at the forecast.
It's cloudy, but it feels really good outside. Temperatures are in the 40s. But comparing yesterday to today, we have taken a hit temperature-wise. We are 6 degrees colder at the lakefront compared to yesterday at this time. 8-degree drop at O'Hare. So 5 to 10 degrees colder than yesterday, but it was balmy. And today, the 40s, that's still going to feel really good. 43 currently at the lakefront as well as Midway, 45 in Gary, 42 at O'Hare, 40 in Waukegan, 41 in DeKalb, Northwest Indiana, low to mid 40s for you as well. Next 48 hours, temperatures are going to be, as mentioned, mild, looking at the low 40s for us in most spots. And then this evening, we have the chance for a little bit of light rain. Tonight, we could see some fog develop. And then tomorrow, for Christmas Day, temperatures still going to be mild, low 40s expected. And during the day, it's going to be dry, but the chance for rain is back tomorrow night into Friday. So for today, going 47 as our high with that southeast wind around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight down to 37. Again, it's going to be a touch foggy as that rain moves out. And then tomorrow, a gray Christmas, but mild. 42. Northeast wind around 20 miles per hour possible at times tomorrow. Here is your future cast. So around 3 to 4 p.m., we're starting to see a little bit of scattered rain. And then as mentioned, tonight it dries out with the exception of fog. And then tomorrow it is going to be a cloudy day. Temperatures back to the low 40s. 9:45 Christmas night. Starting to see a little bit of scattered rain out there, continuing into the first part of your Friday as low pressure passes to our south. And our 7-day forecast shows changes happening as soon as this weekend, with these highs going from 46 degrees Saturday to 41 on Sunday. Next week, though, we start off with bitterly cold temperatures down to the teens again Sunday night. Monday's high 20, and then down to 14 again Tuesday morning with a high of 28 on Tuesday. So very cold air will be here early next week. We're not going to ride the 40s through the rest of the season, but we do have a long stretch ahead of us to assist in any leftover snow melting out there. Temperatures today, as mentioned, in the upper 40s. Just watch out for that scattered light rain later on this afternoon and this evening. Natalie.
Caitlin, while this year's holiday season is expected to drive record revenues, it's also expected to bring an unprecedented surge in fraud attempts due to the increased use of artificial intelligence. Griff Jenkins has the latest.
Refund requests and fraudulent charge disputes are expected to be on the rise this holiday season. A new Payments.com report shows more merchants bracing for a surge in fraud attempts, many fueled by the growing use of AI, which is driving more sophisticated scams and cyber attacks targeting consumers.
You know, scammers prey on people during holiday because people are distracted. They're buying gifts, they're online, they're on social channels, which is a really big area of scammer exploitation.
Cybersecurity company McAfee estimates that 1 in 3 consumers ages 18 to 34 have fallen victim to deepfake scams. And 88% of Americans say they believe AI has increased both the number and sophistication of scams compared to years past.
You have to do a little bit more due diligence.
I will just try to use best judgment. They're looking so real at this point that it's hard to tell.
But even as AI makes scams more prevalent this season, artificial intelligence is also helping merchants fight fraud at an unprecedented scale.
They're investing in behavioral analytic techniques and AI technologies themselves to try to alert consumers of the possibility of being exploited.
Still, 30 and 40% of merchants say they are finding gaps in fraud management tools and worry there are too few resources to fully protect consumers. Many shoppers say they feel the same.
I feel like I'm a pretty savvy person, but of course as AI gets more smart, like you never know.
People need to be aware. If it sounds too good to be true, it typically is. But at the end of the day, people have to be on their guard.
And that same holiday report warning of increased fraud this year says fraud prevention can no longer be a seasonal effort. It says heightened vigilance around AI should continue well after the holiday season. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
I'm Jonathan Lawson, here to tell you.
Welcome back. We are tracking Santa, already making his way around the world, delivering gifts. We've been tracking his progress all morning long with the help of NORAD. So far, he's dropped off over 2 million presents. NORAD Santa Tracker shows he was just in Port-au-France, excuse me. I think that's how you say it, but he's on his way to Madagascar. We do that, so he's in and around Africa. Really, really exciting. So kids, he is on his way here. Just a few more hours. And you're really up against the clock if you're still looking for Christmas gifts for loved ones. The National Retail Federation says sales for this year's holiday season could top $1 trillion once all the procrastinators are done making their final purchases.
Been pretty busy, but the lines are moving. They're doing their jobs.
It was a little busy in Barnes & Noble and in Georgetown, but honestly pretty chill.
I think the parking is more busy in the streets than the stores.
Get here early, because in the middle of the day, all the parking's gone and everything is sold out.
Be kind to the service workers working in these stores who are dealing with huge rushes, and find parking or metro and walk.
Experts say the average person will spend a little under $900 on gifts this year. Let's take a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Right now, the Dow Jones is trading up 288 points. And it's time to look at your business headlines with Jerry Willis.
2025 has marked a turning point for artificial intelligence in the U.S. as the Trump administration has made winning the AI race with China a top priority. But the latest Fox News polls show a rising concern with Americans, with 63% saying they are extremely or very worried about AI.
I wouldn't be thinking about losing your job as much as I'd be thinking about how do I use this tool to make my function in my job a lot more valuable.
If you lose track of what day it is between Christmas and New Year's, you're not alone. A new survey shows just how disorienting that so-called dead zone can be. 40% of Americans say they second-guess the day and their routine at least 6 or more times during that stretch when everyone's technically working, but not really. And with the extra time, half say they're binge-watching old movies and TV shows, making it the most common activity during the dead week. And the National Retail Federation saying nearly 3/4 of all stores now charge some sort of return fee. That's money customers won't get back when ordering a package online and returning it by mail. Retailers estimate close to 16% of their annual sales will be returned this year, totaling almost $850 billion. Free returns are a major draw for shoppers, with 82% citing them as a major consideration when making a purchase. In New York, Jerry Willis, Fox Business.
We will be right back.
Are you ready?
For many families, picking out a Christmas tree is a holiday tradition, and Richardson Tree Farm in Spring Grove has been making that experience really special for decades. We're going to take you along to see the magic for yourself.
It began with pagan rituals of bringing evergreen boughs into your home in the wintertime to remind you that spring will come, that there is life everlasting even in the cold, bitter winters. You get fresh evergreen boughs in there and they stay green all winter long. That's kind of the start of the Christmas tree traditions. We decided we're going to plant some Christmas tree seedlings. So they're about 14 to 20 inches when we buy them. We planted 1,000 trees every year. When we sold our first trees in 1987, we just put a sign up on the road, said we got trees for sale, and we sold like 186 trees or something. And we really got to looking forward to these happy people coming to our farm. Any type of evergreen tree can be a Christmas tree. There are different varieties that grow in different parts of the country. What makes a good Christmas tree is how you trim it or shear it, shape it over the years. Almost every year, every tree needs to have a little bit of a haircut to keep it into that nice shape. And when you clip the tips of the fresh branches, it'll add more buds and fill out and make that nice shape. All of my trees are really, really good. So, and it's very fun. We're out in the fields and people are walking all around and there's hats and gloves on the top. And then you hear your kids going, "Dad, come over here," you know, and they're searching for the perfect one. On our farm, I'd say about 80% of the people take the wagon rides. We have free wagon rides running all through the farms. It's just fun to just kind of get out and see the open spaces, walk around with the kids and the dogs and everything. Then you get the warm barn where you can go inside, hot chocolate, hot cider, beer, wine, gelato, all the gifts and the fresh wreaths that we make. We buy a wreath ring, which has clamps all the way around the rings. There's an art form to making the wreaths. A lot of times we buy in greens because we don't produce enough extra greens. Sometimes we'll cut down a tree that's not quite perfect. The lawnmower ran into a branch, and we'll cut that up and make our wreaths out of that. You just kind of lay out those very carefully around the circle so it's nice and even, and get a beautiful wreath. Then we got the bow makers that make the bows, and then the decorators that put all the different decorations on. But there's nothing that beats the aroma of a fresh evergreen tree in your house. I'd like to point out to people that Christmas trees are a crop, and they are grown specifically for this purpose. So once in a while I hear like, oh, it's a shame to cut down this tree, it's so beautiful. But I've grown them for this purpose. They need to be cut. So it's like corn and soybeans that grow all season long, and then we harvest them. Real trees are best for the environment. They're a home for wildlife all the years that they're growing. They're absorbing carbon dioxide, producing oxygen, and it's a 100% renewable, sustainable resource. 100% recycled after you've used it at Christmas time, goes right back into the earth. And us farmers, when we harvest a tree, we're going to plant new ones, so we always have Christmas trees growing.
That is a really neat look. I love that behind the scenes there. Holiday Thriller is taking over the holiday box office. Coming up, Jake talks with the stars of The Housemaid and even details their Chicago adventures.
Patrick Dempsey in memory of a killer. Final word for Chicago. Fox Local, your best way to
This is Winchester. Oh, please call me Nina. Come on in. So why do you want this job?
I just really enjoy being a housemaid. For the right families, of course.
You know this is a live-in position, right? Ta-da! This is your room. What do you think?
It's perfect.
Okay, good.
The new thriller, The Housemaid, making waves at the box office this holiday season. Jake spoke with stars Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried about the film and Sydney's rumored visit to Chicago.
I want you to feel safe here.
I do.
Theodore.
So much of this story is about secrets. So many characters in the story have sort of their own internal secrets. And I've always wondered, like, as actors, if you come up with things about your characters, if you basically create secrets that maybe you don't tell your co-stars or you don't tell your director, like, do you create secrets for your own characters that you don't tell anybody else?
You don't really say what we're gonna do in a scene. Like, I guess that's a secret in a way. Like,
Yeah, on the day.
I like to surprise people on the day.
Yeah, if you have a fun idea
Yeah.
that you think is going to provoke something
Change things
interesting in a scene,
Yeah.
it's like very, very welcome. But I never create secrets. It's a good idea, though. Maybe I should. It is an interesting idea for an actor, especially if you're bored in a scene and you're just sitting in the background.
Sydney, really quick, I had a lot of friends reach out to me, and I called them morons because there's no way this is true, and said that you were at Butch McGuire's in Chicago last week.
That was from last year.
From last year, the way that went around, that Sydney Sweeney is in Chicago last Wednesday.
Where?
Butch McGuire's, a great bar
name.
here in Chicago. It's a great bar.
That
It's a great
was
Christmas
last
bar.
year. I have no idea why that recirculated. I was there with my friends, and that was from last year.
We're just gonna say every year. We're just gonna start the
Every year,
tradition.
she's gonna go, and everyone's just gonna
do
think
it
I'm
first week of December.
Caitlin will have the final check of the forecast, and this is going to be really exciting. Here's your invitation to start 2026 off right with Fox Chicago. You can join Anita Blanton and Jake Hamilton live from Tao's Chicago nightclub as we celebrate New Year's from Times Square to Texas. We got performances by Bun B, Cupid, Cleo Fox, many more. Fox Local New Year's Eve live. The party starts again at 10 p.m. right here on Fox 32 and Fox Local Chicago.
If this is your wreck, you need a
Welcome back. Santa already making his way around the world delivering gifts. We've been tracking his progress with the help of NORAD. You can too at home. So far, he's dropped off 2.8 million presents. And he was in Madagascar the last time we checked. Now he's on his way to Saudi Arabia, and he'll be here before we know it. Instead of elf on a shelf, it's an elf on a walk. Scooter is a giant stuffed elf in Arizona who roams from yard to yard. Neighbors have woken up to find their homes covered in toilet paper, or Scooter in a Star Wars battle with Darth Vader. He's become so popular, you actually have to get in line to get pranked. I love that. The whole neighborhood's in on it. In Florida, some last-minute Christmas gifts are lucky to still be in one piece after this. No ordinary porch pirate, you guys. It was a big old bear. A front door camera captured the animal walking up to a family's front porch in Longwood this week. After a lot of sniffing and digging, the bear eventually left the packages alone. So there's no fruitcake in those packages, we can safely assume. Thankfully, the family didn't order any other food there. That is so crazy to catch that on your camera.
I didn't realize that there were bears in Florida. I wonder if they're prevalent.
I don't know. This is the first time I'm seeing it too.
Wow.
Double check it.
That is
alligators, maybe. That would also be equally as startling.
Or the little tiny deer, you know.
Those little key deer.
Yeah. Alligator would be startling too. How sweet though. I mean, Natalie. Sweet looking, maybe, that it's not their house. All right, let's talk about this forecast, shall we? Speaking of presents being delivered, tonight, Santa's going to have a heck of a time. It's going to be foggy out there tonight. Right now, though, looking outside, it's busy at the Bean this early afternoon. Lots of ice skaters. Maybe the Zamboni is out there getting that ice in tip-top shape for those ice skaters. Temperatures are in the 40s. We're going to be in the mid to upper 40s today. So it's mild, about 10 degrees cooler than we were yesterday. Yesterday, we were in the mid-50s. We have the chance for rain moving in, especially, I would say, by mid-afternoon, 3 to 4 o'clock on through the evening, the chance for some light scattered showers. And then tonight, we dry out, but the fog starts to move in. And tomorrow's high is going to be around 42 with the clouds staying put. We have the chance for rain back again Christmas night into early Friday, some scattered rain. Temperatures right around 46 degrees on Friday. And then this weekend, it's warmer on Saturday, cooler on Sunday. So highs right around 46 degrees Saturday, 41 expected to wrap up the weekend on Sunday. And then next week, we start off with chilly temperatures, the teens, Monday morning as well as Tuesday morning. Highs in the 20s, so about 20 degrees expected Monday, Tuesday around 28. Normal high for this time of year is in the 30s. So just to give you some perspective, we are going to be hovering above normal through the end of the week and starting the weekend before that cold air settles in. But it also shows you that we're not done with winter. In fact, winter just began, if you don't remember. So we are going to have the cooler air returning early next week, Natalie. But I got to say, we got lucky with this Christmas forecast because if you're traveling, if you're going to be out with family, getting some fresh air, going for a walk, temperatures are going to be very comfortable.
Yeah, and if you're traveling, you know, flying in and out of O'Hare, it's like they get a snowflake at O'Hare. It shuts down the whole airport.
Chicago doesn't just celebrate the holiday season, it decorates and it pours them. I'm Sylvia Perez, and we're at the historic Berghoff restaurant, decked out for the holidays with food journalist Monica Eng and brewmaster Jim Riggs. And the mission tonight, pretty simple, a tour of Chicago's most festive holiday bars. The places that go floor-to-ceiling Christmas, serving seasonal cocktails like a love language and turning an ordinary night out into a full-blown December experience. Along the way, we're going to take a look at what's trending now, what we'll all be ordering in 2026, and the holiday traditions that make Chicago so very special. So grab your coat, come hungry. We are tasting Chicago for the holidays.
Okay, so I love that we're here at the Berghoff, and how beautifully decorated is it for the holidays. You are someone who loves to do historical perspectives on food. Why did you choose the Berghoff?
Well, it's one of the oldest restaurants in Chicago. 1898 is when it opened. At this bar,
back in the turn of the century, you would find no women because women were not allowed in bars. Guys, though, if they ordered a beer, they got a free corned beef sandwich, a free lunch. I wrote about lunches downtown at the turn of the century, and I thought that was fantastic. And look at this. All the history is still preserved, and it's so festive around the holidays.
And it's still owned by the same family?
It is.
Which is amazing generations later. And it's also convenient to the Chris Kindle Market, which is hopping right now. So this is a great spot to stop afterwards.
Or instead of. If
That's
the line
true.
is too long and you still want a German Christmas experience, this is where you should go.
We are at the beautiful Gwen Hotel, located between Streeterville and River North in downtown Chicago. When you first walk in this lobby, you see this gorgeous Christmas tree. But there's something else in here that you will not see at any other hotel in the city of Chicago. It's pretty special. Take a look at this. It is a champagne vending machine. All you do is get your coin, put it in there, and watch how this works. I am going to go for a little rosé champagne, so this is what we're doing. Here we go. Just like a normal vending machine, but it's not normal, it's champagne. Okay, how cool is this? And as much fun as this is, wait till you see their rooftop. What they do for the holidays is so much fun. It's going to blow your mind. We are joined by Jason Sandberg. He is the Director of Restaurants and Bars here at the Gwen. Thanks for having us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Okay, this is incredible. Tell me what it is you guys do every year when you transform this.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Gwen is our annual curling tradition. We're really well known for this, doing this every year, coinciding with the Mag Mile Festival of Lights, continuing all the way to March. It's a really nice, cozy experience this year, kind of reminiscent of an après-ski theme. So we are offering some seasonal drinks, partnering with Minden Mills, a single estate distillery out of Nevada.
Okay.
And then we also are partnering the whole month of December with Moët Hennessy as well, leading up to our big New Year's Eve extravaganza as well.
It is so cozy out here. We're here early, so there's not a lot of people, but I imagine in the evening it is busy.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
It's so beautiful out here in the nighttime with all the glows from the fire pits. All of these are reservable year-round, so even if you want to come and join us in January and cuddle up with a blanket with a cocktail out here, it's
And
really...
there's TV screens.
Absolutely. You can also catch all the football games out
Love
here,
it.
too.
Go Bears, right?
Yeah, go Bears is right.
Okay, but the curling is what blows my mind. How popular is this activity?
Oh, it's extremely popular. You know, we definitely sell out very quickly, so my suggestion is to get your bookings online as soon as possible. It is complete artificial court, so no special shoes are needed. We do recommend people dress appropriately for the weather, although we have a variety of hot cocktails to keep you warm as well, too.
Okay, so let's talk about the cocktails
Yes,
and
yes.
let's talk about the food. Let's walk over here.
Yeah, for sure.
I absolutely love this, Jason. You guys even have cozy little blankets for people to stay warm. Tell me about your theme here and what was your goal?
Absolutely. So we're kind of taking inspiration from an après-ski. So you'll notice the snowshoes, the skis, kind of leaning towards, like you're, just got back from skiing in the Alps here.
I love it. And then, because of this, you also did food kind of with that same theme. Let's talk about
Exactly.
what we're looking at now.
So we have a Bavarian pretzel with 3 different types of spicy mustard, grilled bratwurst served with our house-made fries, pork schnitzel strips with a brown onion gravy as well too. And then all of our curling reservations actually come with some complimentary cookies from our pastry chef. Only available by pre-order. We do have these fondues, which are extremely popular.
this is
so
incredible.
photogenic.
Yeah.
This is the s'mores chocolate fondue served with cacao berry, dark chocolate couverture with house-made torched marshmallows. Very, very fun.
For people who want to come out, how long will this be going on?
So we just started this past weekend, running all the way through the first week of March.
I love it.
So plenty of time.
And we haven't covered yet the cocktails. Tell me about those.
Okay, so for our curling experience, we have partnering with Minden Mill. So we have some spiked hot chocolate here. It has a little bit of a spice to it with some cinnamon liqueur, some chili, Minden Mill single malt whiskey. We have a single mill bourbon hot toddy that has just a little touch of ginger in it as well too. And then one of my favorites is the Gingerbread Man Martini.
Love that.
Yeah, with our
Yeah.
house-made gingerbread syrup, vanilla vodka, little Baileys in there as well.
I can't even imagine on a perfect Chicago night, seeing the skyline, the lights lit, the fireplaces going, all this amazing food. It must be picture perfect.
It is.
Right?
It's a great way to spend
Well,
a night.
first of all, thank you for having us, and cheers to the Gwen.
Cheers.
Happy
Thanks for
holidays.
coming. Happy holidays.
Okay, so Monica, you know, you and I are both big foodies. And I noticed there were certain trends in 2025, and I want to share with you mine, and then I want you to tell me yours. Sure. Some of the trends I saw: steakhouses galore opening up in Chicago, which, you know, Chicago is a meat and potatoes town, but it seemed that we had an unusually high number of steakhouses. So steakhouses were part of the trends I saw. I saw a ton of omakase opening up, and I also saw something that's been around forever, but that is just blown up, and that's tavern-style pizza. Everybody seems to be doing tavern-style now with that super thin crust. Would you agree?
I would totally agree. I mean, I noticed you got Pizza Amici, you got Dicey's, you got WG that moved and brought a location from the northern suburbs here. I think it's called Washington Gardens. You've got Giordano's did its first tavern. Pizza Hut did its first tavern, and now George Bumbaris in Edgewater, who's really known for his great deep dish, now he's doing a tavern style as well.
So it's catching on across the country.
It really is, and I love it. It's what we all grew up eating.
Yeah.
You know, union meetings and bowling parties and birthday parties. Now other people are getting into it.
Well, explain how the whole concept of tavern style came about, because there's a fun story behind that.
There is. I talked to Rose Baracco, who's the granddaughter of Vito and Nick's, and she said that when her dad was coming home from the war, he called his mom and in World War II, and he said, "Hey, you know, there's a lot of pizza here in Italy. I'd like to do something when I get home." And so she started working on a crust. And Rose said it was very different from the crust that her grandma had made before, which was more like grandma-style pizza or sort of Sicilian. It was much thinner, and because they had taverns. And there were a lot of actually gas onion salesmen who were going tavern to tavern saying, "Hey, you should really get a gas oven," this new thing called gas ovens, and because we can really up your profits. How can we up your profits? By having you serve this thing that's really not many ingredients at all. It's very thin, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sauce. This salty thing, you serve that in your bar, and guess what? People are going to be very thirsty, and you will sell more beer. And you don't need a plate for this. You can just eat it on a little cocktail napkin because it's served in these small squares that are easy to pick up. And tavern-style pizza was born. The funny thing is Rose Baracco said, tavern style. Nobody ever called it that when I was growing up. We called it pizza.
And to this day, they're still open after all these years, selling what some say is the best tavern-style pizza in Chicago. And then some of the other trends, let's go back to omakase. Explain what that is and what's going on with that.
Well, traditionally, it would be a way to eat in Japan where the chef, it's like a tasting menu, but often you're at a bar, and it's a tasting menu where you say, I'm putting my meal in your hands. Please just serve me lots of small plates of delicious things.
Chef's choice, basically.
Basically a chef's choice. You say, I trust you. Please feed me well. But now it's expanded into things like taco omakase at Carino.
Yeah.
Did you say a cocktail?
Yes,
omakase?
a cocktail. Dearly beloved, the bar is doing a cocktail omakase. Yeah, and they're doing some fun little bites on top of the mini cocktails.
Oh,
yeah, very
that
cool.
sounds great.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's a way of trusting the chef and doing a tasting menu that is just a slight twist from the traditional tasting menu. Speaking of, one of our biggest tasting menu restaurants in Chicago got a little not great news this year.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because Alinea lost a Michelin star. That was huge. That was a shock to a lot of people.
That was enormous news. You know, some people weren't super surprised because my podcast co-host, Louisa Chu, had also dropped their rating when she reviewed them. Maybe it's just a case of it's 20 years old now, is it?
Yeah, it's been around that long.
And now they just need to reshuffle. You know, it can be devastating for some restaurants, but I'm hearing it's probably not going to change that much for them.
I would think that Grant Achatz, the chef, would probably say, okay, I'm going to show you, and next year he's going to get that third star back. But you know what's ironic is the Robb Report. Are you familiar with the Robb Report? They just voted them the best restaurant in the world, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that
Okay.
funny?
So good news,
Like a
bad news
week or
here.
two after they lost their Michelin star. So
And Time Out, the Time Out International just named Chicago, 5 of Chicago's restaurants as the best in the world. And they are Linea, Ever, Smith, Boca, and Oriole.
Oh, really?
So
wow.
Still in that rarefied air.
Okay. And what is it about Chicago you think that, I always think, is it just because we live here and we know, but what is it about this city that we have the most amazing food city? I would easily say one of the top 5 in the world, but I'm biased.
I would say we are the top.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think it's, it's kind of like having my book. It's the intersection of cultures. And, when I talk to folks from New York, they say the great thing about Chicago is your rents aren't quite as high. And so you can have more experimentation. You don't have to go with a safe bet every time that all of your investors will definitely say, okay, we can get on board with that. You can be a little funky, like another restaurant that opened this year, Feld.
Yes.
It got on the Michelin star. It got its first Michelin star this year.
Yep.
It was a rocky start at the beginning, but it was this young guy, Jake Potashnik, who'd worked in from Chicago, who'd worked in who'd worked in Europe and came back here. And I remember him calling me and said, Monica, I want it to be farm to table. I want to pay a living wage to everyone, and I want to change the menu every day.
Every single day.
And I said, I think you're being a little too ambitious. And now joke's on me. He got his first Michelin star, and he's celebrating like crazy. And it is very experimental. He didn't have to do a cookie cutter thing. And maybe that's what Chicago's all about.
It's interesting because I interviewed him before he got that Michelin star earlier this year. And I remember him saying that he changed his menu every single day. Most chefs would say that's just not possible. But he's doing it. And what makes the story even more interesting is that the year before he opened, you'll remember, he documented everything on TikTok. So he got this huge following. Yeah. And then he opens.
Lots of expectations.
Yes, and the reviews were not so good. Yeah. And he was determined. There was a lot of critics, and he was determined, and he got that first Michelin star. He is truly an inspirational story of someone who was not going to accept that he wasn't good enough.
I do like a fancy restaurant, but I have to say, I like sort of more down-to-earth ones. I love Rendang Republic. I love Indonesian food. We haven't had much of it in Chicago. Those places have left and gone. And so Rendang Republic by John Avila, it's fantastic. It's got one of my favorite dishes in the world, and that's rendang, which is kind of like an Indonesian curry. It's this really deeply spiced sauce that you can cook beef or chicken in. It's kind of like the chicken adobo or a curry of Indonesia. Everybody's mom does it differently.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to find. And he used to work with Kevin Hickey. And he's this really terrific chef. But he also has Kevin Hickey's hot dogs that he does in Indonesian flair.
He does. Okay.
It's in Wrigleyville, and I hope that doesn't end up making it difficult to succeed, because maybe Wrigleyville folks aren't always looking for Indonesian food.
Right. Oh,
But
look at here. What do we have?
Wow.
Here we go. This is classic Berghoff, right?
Yes.
And you can't
Schnitzel
do
with an egg.
schnitzel with an egg without having their pretzel as well and their dipping sauces.
You got it
Thank
all.
you. Oh my gosh. Look at this. This feeds a family of 4.
Yes. I think we will be well fed.
And then looks like we have a little beef here with the
Yeah.
Yep, very nice. And then I said the pretzel and the dipping sauce.
And you know what I've really loved this year? The way Chicago has come together to support communities affected by these immigration raids. I mean, communities that had just been devastated, where you weren't seeing anybody walk down 26th Street in Little Village or Pilsen or parts of Belmont Cragen. I love how people said, let's get together and do a taco crawl. Let's get together and buy the entire inventory of this elotero today. Buy them out so they can go home and be safe.
Yeah, you reported on that. So people were going out there to try to take those street vendors off the street so they didn't have to worry about, getting picked up by ICE.
Yes.
And they were literally going out there and just buying everything up.
Yep. Give me all your tamales today. Give me all your corn today.
What did you see while these raids were going on? Because Chicago was really kind of the focus of the nation.
Yeah.
As ICE had converged on our city. What did you see when you describe what that was like in Little Village? Because food is such a huge part of any community, and especially there. What are you going to remember about that?
Well, I remember the devastation and the fear on people's faces. My family, we would try to go every weekend to do brunch on Saturday and Sunday, and we would speak to the servers who were still working. a lot of times they didn't want to speak Spanish. They would put out servers who only would speak English. But sometimes we were able to speak Spanish to them. And I said, well, what are your hopes? And they said, our hopes are that it's going to be over one day. And they said, our workers are terrified. Our cooks are terrified. Our customers are terrified to come in. I mean, we sometimes will be the only table there on a Sunday morning. And last weekend I went to Canton Regio on 18th Street in Pilsen. Crowded. I was a big crowd on Sunday morning. And I was so happy to see people back.
They're back.
Still ahead, one of the coziest holiday pop-ups in the city, tucked into Westtown, with some boozy classics, comfort food, and a back room that feels like a winter escape. And then later, we're going to show you a holiday bar that goes all in on Hanukkah, so don't go anywhere.
So look what they brought us. This is sauerbraten. Tell everybody what that is.
Sauerbraten is basically sliced roast beef that's been marinated overnight, but then instead of the savory gravy, it's sort of like a sweet and sour sauce gravy.
Very good. And then here's their famous schnitzel with the spätzle in the bottom, but egg on top.
Yeah, so it's schnitzel a la Holstein, which means capers, anchovies, and eggs on top.
Okay, let's dig in. What do you say? We'll share each, right?
Yes.
So, I think we all love the holidays. And it's funny, Monica, because you and I have something in common.
Both Puerto Rican.
We're both Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And so when people say to you, what is your favorite holiday tradition? Because you come from two different backgrounds.
Yeah.
What would you say that is?
Well, we would always celebrate Christmas with my Puerto Rican grandmother, and that meant lechon, so roast pork, garlicky roast pork. That smell always brings the holidays back.
Yes.
Arroz con gandules, which is, some people would call orange rice with pigeon peas.
Yes.
Pasteles, which are our version of tamales wrapped in banana leaves with plantain masa. And the most delicious drink in the world,
Coquito. I love my coquito.
Yes.
We were just talking about that because Puerto Rican families are very funny about their coquito. Like the recipes are, they don't ever want to share. What's up with that?
I know. I mean, there's the standard one that you get on the can.
Yeah.
But then everybody's got a little twist on
Yes,
them.
they do have a little twist. Yeah.
And so, I do go with a pretty regular cream of cocoa, coconut milk, vanilla, canela, cinnamon,
yes,
and rum. But a lot of people like to add condensed milk, but you've heard of a new addition.
So, people are taking water and putting star anise and cinnamon and making it into a tea, and you put a little nutmeg in there, and then you kind of boil that up and then strain it, and that's part of the recipe. So I'm trying that this year.
All right.
I have a big competition with my sisters every year to see who can make the best coquito.
Okay.
And I still have not perfected mine, so I'm working on that. But the lechon on Christmas Day, that's something I do every year.
Yeah.
And the arroz con gandules. I love it. Like German traditions here, I love these. I just love all of the cultural, ethnic holiday traditions. I love sharing. And I love that you have two that merge together. What about the other side of the family?
The Chinese stuff, I mean, we'll often celebrate Lunar New Year just after the holidays, but, it would be basically our rice, sometimes a sticky rice stuffing with lapchong, which is this preserved sausage that would go inside the turkey, even the Christmas turkey. And I have to say, even though egg rolls are not authentically Chinese, our family, which had our flagship restaurant just down the street, we served the big, chubby Chinese-American egg rolls. And one of my great aunts gave me the recipe.
Oh.
And so we'll get together and we'll make dozens and dozens of them.
Oh, that's fun.
And then you can save them and freeze them for later.
I love that. That's like the tradition of getting the family together to make the pasteles.
Exactly. Or tamales from Mexican families.
I remember my mom used to line us up. There's 5 of us. Each one of us had our own station. Somebody would do the masa. Somebody else would do the meat. Somebody else would roll it up. And it was fun.
Yeah.
We didn't realize how much fun it is. I look back, what a wonderful memory,
Now we're in West Town at the Dandy Crown, a British-themed bar that turns into a holiday hideaway every December. It's tucked into the neighborhood, and it's a festive spot with a lot of holiday flair. This place is screaming Christmas, and we are joined by Chaz Allen. He is the bar manager here. Chaz, this is wonderful. You must love putting these drinks together.
Well, it's my favorite part of my job.
Tell us about this. You do this every December.
We love having fun here with our holiday pop-ups, and a Very Dandy Holiday is my personal favorite. I love Christmas,
Yes.
as you can tell. Yeah.
But not only you, the whole place is suited up. I mean,
Absolutely.
You've got a fireplace overhead. You've got in your other room, everything is set up so it's just very cozy. What kind of feeling are you trying to portray here?
Well, it's that nostalgic, wonderful feeling of the most wonderful time of the year, I guess.
Awesome.
Right?
But then what's even more fun is these drinks that you guys do. Tell me, you
Got
have
a
quite
lot.
the setup over here. What do we have?
I love them. So we have an amazing espresso martini here with maple syrup. I named it after the elf quote, "Syrup and coffee, why didn't I think of that?"
Okay.
I have a mulled wine, just like at Chris Kindle Market downtown, but
Okay.
I think it's
Oh,
better.
here we go.
I got some eggnog. I made this eggnog super boozy.
Okay.
And
is
it's
that why
really
they're in these
tasty.
little bitty shot
They're
glasses?
little. They're
Yes.
small but mighty.
Small but mighty. Love it. And what
Yeah.
else?
I have an awesome old fashioned where I melt down Werther's candies into the bourbon, and
wow.
it's called Grandpa's Pocket.
I love it. And then it looks like you have a very large Santa. I'm hoping this is for more than
just
one
for
person.
you. No, it's just
Yes.
for you. It's actually it serves 6 to 8 people.
Okay.
It's basically a rotating holiday punch. We keep it very Christmassy in there,
Yeah.
but
Well, you've come up with some great ideas. If you look
Thank
at the menu, the offerings are so much fun. But what are you going to make for me now?
ooh, I heard you like the Grinch, so I'm
I
going to
do
make
love
you
the Grinch.
a Grinch-themed cocktail.
Okay, walk me through what happens here.
Absolutely. I have this green stuff.
What is
this
that
is
green stuff?
rum and melon liqueur.
Okay.
So that's going to go in there. I have fresh lime juice.
Now, is this going to be boozy?
It's not too boozy. It's It's a normal cocktail,
Okay.
I would say, but
Normal.
it's not boozy. This is a fresh ginger syrup I make from
Ooh.
raw ginger.
Oh, yum.
It's delicious. And then a little bit of pineapple juice.
Okay. That's all there is, huh?
Nope.
Oh.
Jalapeno.
Oh, I love
Makes
it.
it a little spicy like the Grinch, right?
Okay, so you got a little spicy Grinch kick in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Making people smile through cocktails is
Uh-huh.
really like, that makes me happy.
Yeah, and then the reactions you get, I'm sure, are
Oh.
just priceless, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's green, very
It's
much like the Grinch.
green.
Wow.
It's Grinchy and green.
So how late do you guys stay open?
So Monday through Friday, we're open till midnight, 3 to midnight, and then on the weekends, we stay open till 2 and 3, respectively.
Another one.
Don't worry.
Uh-huh.
It's
You
not
top it
too
off.
spicy, but it's very Grinchy.
Okay, can I take a taste?
Absolutely,
Okay,
please
here we
do.
go.
I hope you like it.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just got the kit.
Heck yeah.
Okay, but there's so much more than just this beautiful bar and the fireplace and these amazing cocktails. We want to take you into the back room. Wait till you see that setup and wait till you see the food. Can you follow me?
Yeah, let's go.
It is so cozy in here. Is it always like this, even in the dead of the winter?
Yeah, it stays warm because of all these beautiful fire pits. It's, you know?
And oh, it's so cute. And when it's 20 below, what a fun place to escape because you still feel like you're outside and you're in a winter wonderland. But now we're talking food. And you were saying you're very proud of your food.
I love the food here.
Yeah.
Our chef does an amazing job.
Okay, so what have we got?
So starting here, we got the bacon flatbread. This is delicious. It's super crispy and thin. Super good. I love
Okay.
it. We have a lot of dips on our menu. I like
It's
dips.
easy, right?
Dips are great.
Yeah.
We concentrate on like shareable, fun, cozy
Get
drinking
everybody
food, right?
involved, right?
Yeah, so I have an elote dip, which is, you know, like your corn
Mexican
and
corn, yeah.
Mexican corn
Uh-huh.
dip. It's absolutely delicious. And crab dip if you're
that looks
feeling a
good.
little fancy.
Okay.
I love that.
You're feeling fancy?
I'm feeling fancy. You know it. I really love our empanadas. I eat them almost every single day.
What's inside?
We have chicken, beef, ropa vieja, spinach and cheese, and veggie.
Wow.
My favorite is the chicken. I eat it constantly.
Yeah, it
and
looks
it's served with
delicious.
an amazing salsa verde that is
Okay.
a little spicy and very tasty.
And pretzels seem to be big these days. Tell me about yours.
I love pretzels. It comes with our house pimento cheese, which is awesome. We also do that with chips, so if you want chips and dip,
Nice.
you can have that.
Okay.
And it also has some stone ground mustard.
Okay.
And then this is our new plate, a
Pretty.
brie set. So baked brie with cranberries and walnuts.
Look at
It's
that.
very
Yeah,
tasty.
Very, very nice. So out of everything you showed me today, tell me your one favorite item that if people come, they absolutely have to order, and your one favorite drink they have to order.